never one that found it easy to have super concise titles. I'm a generalist. I like to get into new situations and help with making sense of it with the folks I work with, and that's led to a lot of different interesting places. And I feel really fortunate. We're all, I guess, we're all born at interesting times, and early days of the internet is where I got a lot of my start, going from starting a game development company to then going into web development and continuing on from there. Um, Realizing that I really deeply resonate and connect with ideas that are very user centered, and what does that mean, and how, gosh, it's universal. It's not just the people we make stuff for, but it's all of the people we're connected with. And that's, yeah, it's been a theme and central idea. If I, when you look back at the stuff you do, it's like you can rationalize and make sense of it. But I think that's a pretty credible background story. A lot of folks would agree with that, at least I think. So I am about to start um, I guess, a brief reading session. It occurred to me that I have created a lot of articles this year, and well, uh, and a variety of talks and articles and stuff before that, but it was typically in a lot more sporadic schedule. But this year, I did for the first 100 days of the year, where turns out if you do a 100-day challenge and you start on January 1st, the 100th day is April 10th. Just, um, I didn't know that before. So yeah, I went through April 10th with a daily writing and publishing challenge to, put something out on my blog at interactive-storyteller.com. So I think, while I'm also experimenting with getting out and streaming more often, and as I introduce myself, where I do a variety of things. I have a game, a game that I'm splitting into two versions in progress, called Guitar Fretter, and I could of course put that up on stream, but I'll stream about that another time. It's that's a game to make it a playful experience to learn the notes on a guitar fretboard and to practice memorizing them. Well, I'm updating the core game, and I'm turning it into sort of a full version and a free version. And the free version will be a little bit pared down, but still very capable. A lot of the full experience, and it will have bass guitar, 4-string bass and 6-string guitar, and the whole arcade experience. Um, and yeah, a few other features I'm still debating about, because I have that opportunity before I publish it. Anyway, so I do design, I do coding, I make games, I write, and I try to teach and advocate about this stuff too. So, yeah, my blog, I've covered a variety of topics this year. I suppose I'll pull it up on screen. Let's see, what would be a good view for that? How about this one? Here is an article I wrote very recently about an idea called, I just called it the Victory Donut, but it's essentially creating a gameful, playful experience around a treat and a to-do list. And as this, oh gosh, I should turn off my green screen. Do this? No. What would stop the green screen here? Puzzle. One of my little features in this scene in OBS is doing green screen. How about, I'm guessing it's going to be this camera. Can I look at the filters and say, don't do that green screen thing? Uh-oh, it's going to be the Mac as a green screen. Okay, let's get rid of that filter. Yep, there you are. I see you. Chroma key. Haha. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now we see the illustration, which coincidentally had greenish colors in it. Okay, so the Victory Donut is a to-do list game, and I'm going to read the article to you now. First, we see an image, a pastry, a promise, and accountability, a formula for a victory donut. And there's a picture of a donut, a small list of tasks, and then two situations in a panel and two different panels. One, possessing the donut. The other one, giving the donut. This is the whole article essentially in an image. And here we go. The Victory Donut is a recent example of how I have a habit of turning day-to-day things into games in my own mind. A pastry, a promise, and accountability. Why have I not discussed the fun, gamified power of a simple promise combined with a pastry? I do talk about creative process and projects a lot. Why didn't the Victory Donut come up? Maybe it's too simple to share. Lots of folks use checklists with a sense of accomplishment after. Getting a treat for finishing a project is super common too. You don't even need a reason to treat yourself. Working on a checklist and getting a treat at the end was a fun ritual. That's a complete enough story. There might be more to it though. The Victory Donut. The Victory Donut comes to my desk when deadlines loom. I don't mind working toward a big project reward. The time between here and finished project can be a huge wait. It's not as easy to feel close to the reward like my every small step and choice matters and moves me closer or further from the reward. The big output and big timeline make the reward feel abstract. Small treats can be rewarding too. So why not take the big goal and find smaller goals to reach as steps? So, on my way to work, I'll choose a fresh, amazing looking donut. Donuts smell so good to me. A donut that's victory worthy could have any one of these top 5 choices. Or could be any one of these top 5 choices. Chocolate frosted cake. Vanilla frosted cake with sprinkles. Raised vanilla frosted. Frosting or fruit filled Long John. Apple fritter. If the pastry is not a donut, I still call that day's Victory Donut. When I get to my workspace, I place the donut in a prominent space. It's a visible reminder. Hopefully, I can smell it too. Now it's time to make the commitment. What is the victory that makes the donut mine? Make a checklist of the things to get done. This becomes my criteria and promise. Only if these things are accomplished, that's when I get to eat the donut. There's no guarantee that I'll be eating the Victory Donut. That's what makes the donut an interesting symbol. So, quick pause from the article reading. Looking around at chat, checking the stream and all that, and some commentary. So why don't I jump into separate mode here? There we go. So I'm about halfway through the article about the Victory Donut. And I have to say that, so one of the podcasts I do, and I mean, honestly, I guess it's like the main one on my resume is Lean Into Art. And I work on that project with Jersey Drost, and it's been going on for, honestly, over 10 years. It's kind of wild. That is its whole big project of things and separate projects within. And we have an ongoing evolution to what the podcast is. And it has evolved into, well, more... I mean, it's been video for a long time, actually, and figuring out, ways to make use of what the video is beyond just, us being talking heads and all that. But there's always this figuring out and this adaptation kind of thing. And lately we do this alternating flow of episode formats called, one of them is creative work chats. And then the other one is mini workshops. Debatable how many those workshops are. We want you to really walk away with an approachable, repeatable learning experience that you can act on in a variety of ways, with you having potentially a variety of different learning styles. I mean, it's a place where we either we share things that we have tested over many years in our different teaching learning experiences that we provide, or sometimes we test new material and stuff too. But that's one of the formats. Then the other format is, we call it a creative work chat. And that is also a lot of thoughtful exploration and whatnot, but it's not as part of the success criteria for that episode format to be as repeatable of a learning experience. It's about the adventure of the exploration and discussion and analysis and consideration and reflection and that kind of stuff. Modeling those activities, and also, hopefully being useful, specific things coming out of that as well. But it's not as much of a workshop, where there isn't like an activity to try and whatnot necessarily, or it's not as structured around that. And so just today, earlier, when we recorded the creative work chat episode centered around this idea of the victory donut. And just to mention, let's see. So we called that episode, it's episode 360 of the Lean Into Art cast. If you go to leanintoart.com, you'll see that whole thing right there, because it's the latest episode, and it's Daily Creative Celebration, also known as Victory Donut. So this whole story, this article was not read or gone into detail in that episode of the podcast. It's more really going deeper into the idea of using game design to shape your workday, and what might be interesting questions to consider as you do that. Okay, so I will get back to the article. Okay, so here we are, coming back to the victory donut. Well, what happens then when I don't earn the donut? I give it to someone else on the team to celebrate them instead. It helps the donut not go to waste. Some example dialogue. Me: hey, I have this frosted donut and I'm not going to eat it. Would you like to have it? Often, that's welcome news. Coworker: oh, are you sure? Well, okay, thanks. It got weird a few times when folks know that it's a victory donut and what that means. Like, what does it mean for someone to take my symbol of accomplishment and then consume it? Coworker: hey, is that your victory donut? Can't you just keep that until tomorrow? Me: nope. It's only a victory donut if I finish my list or give it away. With an okay, fine squint of acceptance. Okay, I'll have it. A little shrug could be in there too, whatnot. Okay. Only a couple of times has a victory donut not found a home. I don't feel good about wasting a donut. I have both a set, I have both set a victory donut in a workspace kitchen and wrote free donut on the bag. I've also waste binned and composted a couple when there just wasn't another option. A few times I'd bring the donut home for Kate. I'm husband to Kate Schultz-Denzinger. Commentary. It's a symbol in a story. I choose to give it meaning. Okay. The biggest thing that happens when I don't earn the donut is keeping a promise. That's also what happens when I do eat the victory donut. It means I completed the list and kept that promise. Since childhood, I get the urge to bet with myself on small stuff. One kind of bet that really gets my brain hooked on an idea is to make and keep a promise I make to myself related to something that I can control. Growing up, I do this small bet promise trick to run home fast, to finish homework, to get a chore done instead of avoiding it. Using a reasonable treat for a reasonable checklist seems very similar to turning a situation into a game. This also reminds me of when I was using the app Superbetter to help work through just not feeling great. It's such a clever, nourishing, kind, and easy to use tool, and it's free. Superbetter is a way to give yourself a meaningful list and experience nourishing stuff as a reward. Far healthier than a victory donut, though not totally mutually exclusive. One more comment at the end of the article. Interested in getting occasional news from me conveniently in your email box? Well, sign up for my newsletter. The first issue is about to go out soon. It went out already. This article, as what'll happen sometimes when I read them on stream, of course, time marches on and there's a gap between the writing, publishing, and right now. So, my newsletter, it's easy to sign up. If you go to the bottom of any page on the website, interactive-storyteller.com, you will have an option to put your email address in right there and hit subscribe. There's other good things too, like you can support my work. Click on the Buy Me a Coffee link. That's pretty cool. And of course, there are a whole bunch of things worth mentioning in my store, which I'll visit that page in a minute. To close out, a couple of links. Actually, I think the main link would be Superbetter. So if I click this, hopefully I'm not logged in and get some awkward personal things, as far as like what's my secret hero name and all that stuff. You only get to know that if you're my friend on Superbetter. Anyway, this is their site, superbetter.com. I think it's primarily a web-based tool that lets you choose things that are like concerns for you, turn them into, games and little inviting mini challenges, and to turn that into maybe social support as well and whatnot. And it's really clever. I used Superbetter a while back during, like any mental health resource. A lot of times I'm the kind of person I reach for it at tougher times in my experience in certain life stages and stuff. Seeking counseling, reaching out for tools like this, which is not the same as counseling, but it's some interesting. It's a supportive mechanism, and it's certainly mental health related. And it reminds me a bit of that. The idea of turning situations into a playful challenge. And that certainly was the, feelings and idea behind Victory Donut. Okay, so superbetter.com is the link I wanted to mention there. And then, why not? Let's go to my store page, interactive-storyteller.com/store. And here's where you'll find my workshops that you can get on my Gumroad presence. And there's a lot of these workshops are also available on Skillshare, if you're a member there. You can work on, let's see, I have my workshop page right here, so you can just see that in detail. Listening like a coach, which is a great way to practice and level up, like how you listen in a way that's not prescriptive, to help people with navigating their own problems and building up their own skills for the process of seeing opportunities and choices and turning that into some kind of next steps and actions and stuff. So it's it's a really kind collaboration technique that I love to share. And well, I mean, I do coaching, but also I like to, well, other folks. I mean, how what a gift it is when someone deeply listens to you, right? I mean, how awesome is that? So I like to spread and share that skill. Things like goal setting using design plus storytelling, drawing user journey maps, huge user experience collaboration skill, and also customizing your next creative challenge, among other great resources on my workshop page there. Skillshare, instead of buying your own copy, you can use it like Netflix style and just watch them there. Games, this will take you to my itch.io presence where I have things like Guitar Fretter and This Panda Needs You are there for you to pick up. Coaching and merchandise. There you go. That's my store page. And we'll visit that again in other streams. I will pick another article to read. And I think that'll be it, right? There's one more article on this stream. I'm checking out the chat to see what's up there. And, all right. Looking good. So, what would be another good article to read? Something that, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and share my 100 posts in 100 days. It's brief, and I think it bookends a pretty big, interesting experience that I took on, a particular creative challenge. So, prepare my vocal cords. All right. I'm going to go ahead and check Twitter for a minute here and see how that's going. Let's do some background music and a little bit of that interstitial graphic that says, hey. Okay, I am back and continuing this mellow evening stream of reading a couple of blog posts. This is an interesting experiment. I think my regular streaming schedule will be a few brief evening streams. I'm probably a late night show host. As much as I would like to do something around lunchtime in Western Hemisphere-ish stuff, I don't think that timing is a great fit at this point. Lots of reasons for that. And we'll see. This has worked out a couple of times, and I'm going to pick a more consistent stream time so you'll know when to find me. And uh or yeah, and then we can hang out and I'll see your chats and all that stuff. So here I go with just randomly picking different cameras on my stream deck. I don't have that fancy of a setup. There is a thing called NDI, and that's a handy way to get a few different things streaming into an OBS setup. And I've got a couple of those things going on. 2 USB cameras. Nothing wild. But okay, so I'm about to read an article called "A Little Less of This, More of Other Things." And I'm looking for... All right, I will use this other thing to do that switch. Let's see here. So there's that. That's just the article, but I'd like to hang out with you as well. So we'll find the right option here. This is the one. Hey. So here we are with a little less of this, more of other things. And a graphic with 100 boxes and a Simple Shapes doodle character holding a balloon with the number 100. And it says 100 posts in 100 days. Okay. A little over a week ago, I mentioned I'm changing my goal for blogging this year. As of now, this post is number 100. So, as a comment, I was planning on posting every single day, 365 posts for 2021. I changed my mind. That would be a good third article to read, actually. Good context. Maybe another time. As of now, this post is number 100. 100 posts in 100 days. Now I'm changing to weekly posts with the option to post a bit more as works and feels right. To recap, I've learned the ability to pick a topic, write until I've got about 500 to 700 words to edit. Even if it's a topic I have hangups about, I can do that kind of writing now. Will I stay in practice doing this fewer times per week? I think I will, but only doing the work over time will show if that's how it'll go. Wednesdays sound good? I need to pick my official day for you to expect a new post. Let's go with Wednesdays. I'll do my best to get a post out by noon on Wednesdays, but at the worst, before I go to bed. So now there's going to be fewer posts. What will there be more of? Creative work and supporting creative projects with marketing. Look at my misspelling right here. Oops. I'm planning on more daily progress on games and workshops. Also, a few more social posts and experiments. Maybe I'll give TikTok a try. Reading. I need that space to read more too. Looking forward to digging into new books on my pile, books I've started and not finished, and a few rereads. Rest. I'm not proud to say I've taken a very few days off in the last 100. The only thing that works for me is that I've been working on my professional projects in a very time-shifted, flexible way that lets me focus on my family. I've been doing fairly okay with workouts 4 days a week, but I could do a lot better with that and with taking more weekends off. It's an arrangement that I wouldn't allow 100 days of an employer or client demanding it, but because it's my products and has been able to fit with my family, I've made it work. A dialogue between my desire to stick with a thing and to adapt. Creative challenges focus me and remind me I have choices and skills to adapt, to find a way to the finish line. I know after doing 100 days, I could do all 365. Could do and will do are different things. The separation between the two means options, choice, strategy, hopefully wisdom. I'm curious to see what the total will be at the end of the year. Thanks for going on this adventure with me. Creative challenges. If you're thinking of starting your own creative challenge for yourself, joining a community event, or starting one, my workshop, Customizing Your Next Creative Challenge, is for you. Purchase a copy for yourself, a friend, or your whole team. If you're facing problems in this year of other challenges in matters of justice, dealing with toxic masculinity, or financial tough times, I do offer scholarships. Send me an email via the comments form if that's your situation. And so here is, as that article closes, is this extra, it's a mention of something I make and working on, I think, nourishing service-minded marketing is something I'm practicing. So it felt like an appropriate time to mention my Customizing Your Next Creative Challenge workshop. Also mention that I do things out of the spirit of service and care and causes. I care about the topics and empowering people through them, but also there's other circumstances in life and complexities that matter so much. So while, yeah, I'm talking huge discount. So just send me a message. Either via the form in the comments here, or you can send an email to rob@shieldsstenzinger.com. So there you go. That's what I have today for this stream, this brief read a couple of articles I've written stream, which I'll do again. And maybe this will be a fun evening ritual. I've got a few more different stream formats and ideas, and I certainly plan on playing these instruments behind me and drawing and all that kind of stuff too. But yeah, I really need to finish the Guitar Fretter and also the free version of Guitar Fretter, and that's a good candidate for sharing on the stream as well. So we'll see what's in store. Thanks for being here. And yeah, I wish you a good evening, good day, or whenever this finds you. See you soon.